I'm gonna put timestamps in the description box if you want to skip around, because I'm gonna cover a couple things. Hey friends and fam, welcome back to my channel. My name is Megan. If you're new here, I'm on a fitness journey, and right now we are at the end of month 1 of my cut cycle for this year. Today is Friday, May 28th. So I'm going to talk about my goals and things that went on this month, and then we will cut into the live weigh-in and measurements, progress pictures, and then I guess I'll just wrap it up with a summary of what I plan on doing next month. This month has been a little crazy. 2 videos ago, I said that my plan for this cut was to try to do a diet break each month. So my plan was to do like 3 weeks of cutting at my cutting calories, and then 1 week around the time of my period to go up to maintenance. The reason I wanted to do this was because I had heard a lot, especially about this study, this Matador study, where they showed that there were a lot of benefits to participants in a study who took regular diet breaks, okay? They said that they metabolically performed better, like their metabolism didn't down-regulate as much as the control group who didn't do diet breaks. There was a lot of things about like hormones and compliance to the program, and mostly I was really interested in the fact that a lot of participants were able to preserve their metabolic rate better than those who did not take a diet break. And so I'm like, okay, what the heck? I'll try it this month, right? But then, like a few days before I started this cut, I caught wind of other research that said that that study was only done on people who were obese or had a lot of weight to lose. There were subsequent studies done on people who were like athletes or, didn't have a lot of weight to lose, and they didn't find any difference in the metabolic downregulation of the group who did diet breaks versus those who didn't. Now, I am like paraphrasing based off of videos on YouTube that paraphrased. So like don't take my word for it, read these studies for yourself, but this was just the gist that I caught from resources that I find to be reliable on YouTube who break down this kind of science. So for me personally, I realize it comes down to a personal decision. Do I want to take diet breaks or not? Personally, I don't want to. The only reason I wanted to was just to try to squeeze out a little bit of metabolic optimization by doing these diet breaks. But when it comes to a personal preference, I would much rather just stick to one plan and just stick to it. I don't want to be flopping all around. However, with all of that said, I ended up taking a diet break this month out of necessity. So I've weighed myself a couple times throughout this past month, and then I decided I wanted to stop because I found myself already obsessing about the numbers. My goal with this cut diet is pretty much the same as the last one I did between September and December of last year, which is I want to lose approximately 1 kilo a month. I want to do this slow and steady and in a controlled manner because I really only want to lose fat. I do not want to put myself in such a deficit that I end up losing muscle mass. That is completely against, opposite of what my hopes and dreams are. I do not want to be losing muscle mass. I just want to shed a little bit of body fat. So preferably, I would like to have lost 1 to 1.5 kilos this month, and then the next 3 months, I'm hoping to lose about 1 kilo. So, like I said, I had weighed myself a couple times. It kind of stressed me out because I'm like, it's funny, I've been doing this for a while, but you expect that when you put yourself into a deficit and you're like working out hard and everything, for some reason, there's just this natural expectation that all of a sudden you're going to get on the scale after 3 or 4 days of doing this and you're going to be down 5 pounds. It doesn't go that fast. And I am having to remind myself of that still, now, even now, this far into my fitness journey. So I'm not weighing myself until the end of the month. And just like with my last cut cycle, if the end of the month happens to coincide with my menstrual cycle, I'm going to wait until that is over, and then I will do my month-end weigh-in so that I can keep the variables steady. So back to the diet break thing. I took a diet break between like week 2 and 3 of this month because we were so intensely busy on our farm. In fact, I'm going to put a video here. This is a 59-second video, but it was taken as a time lapse on my phone and then sped up to the factor of 3. So it does not even go to show the actual amount of horrific labor I've had to do during this week. We had to replace a couple sewage lines on our farm, and so a backhoe came, or an excavator, or whatever you call it, and it dug the holes for us in like 15 minutes and then just left all this earth, and we were gonna borrow our neighbor's excavator, but it is broken now. So I had to fill these holes by hand because like the rains were coming and you know, things are growing and we need to be able to mow the lawn because like we harvest our grass as mulch for our farm and stuff. So I had to get this all done in the matter of a week, and it was literally hours and hours and hours of intense full body HIIT, okay? And because of that, I could not eat at the deficit I was at. If I was eating at my deficit that I have written for myself in my meal plan based off of normal activity and lifestyle, I'd be at like, you know, 1,000 calorie deficit each day. It would not have been sustainable for life. So I had to eat intuitively during that week. I did not track my macros. Like, I stuck to my meal plan. I ate all the foods in my meal plan. I just ate bigger portions, and particularly when it came to carbs. I did not eat in excess. I did not cheat. I made sure to make protein a priority still. So I just have to assume I ate at maintenance or thereabouts. I have not weighed myself since that week because I did not want to start obsessing about the numbers or stressing. I need to just trust the process and realize that life is going to happen, and I know I made all the right decisions with the exception of tracking in MyFitnessPal because I did not have the time to do it. We will see how it all pans out when I weigh in at the end of this month, and then I'm just gonna have to wash the slate clean and start anew next month. I don't anticipate the labor needs being so intense anymore, so I think I'll be able to be on a regular routine schedule from now to the end of my cut. But it's been a weird month. I'm just gonna say that right now. In terms of what I did do outside of that 1 week is I'm just sticking to my plan. Like I said in my last video, I rewrote all of my workout plans, and I'm gonna stick to these 5 workout plans for the rest of the year and just log my progress to make sure that I'm progressively overloading and increasing my level of difficulty on a regular basis. So I just wanted to document this real quick because it was Mother's Day here yesterday in Sweden, and my husband bought me a barbell. So we've kind of like switched up the arrangement of our gym, and we got to get some smaller weight plates. He had gotten me some 10s and 5s, but they weren't big enough to fit the barbell, so we're gonna get new ones. But we've now added a sandbag. That's like a 25 kilo sandbag, which is a really fun addition to our gym. We got the second adjustable dumbbell. So now we have a pair of those dumbbells and then some lighter dumbbells there. We've got the barbell, we've got the multi-gym, we've got all of my resistance bands. These things have been great. One awesome thing about having these weight plates now with the barbell is I can now use this hamstring curl attachment to my bench. I had been doing single leg curls using double bands that were attached to my multi-gym. That actually works really, really well, but I had to do it single leg, which takes up more time. So now I can do both legs at the same time, and it just saves time. So I'm super pumped about this. And then this winter, we've decided we're gonna start saving up money, and we're gonna replace this old elliptical with a treadmill because I prefer like incline speed walking and stuff for cardio during the winter. I don't really like the elliptical. And then we are going to get a wall mirror. We're finally going to finish this space. It's like dirty drywall crap. So we're going to get a wall mirror for this wall. And then we're going to wallpaper. I want like dark wallpaper. I want like a black or red or something like that. Those are just like the gym colors I'm used to. But my husband wants to do something light, gray or white. I don't know. I don't know how I like that. Let me know what you guys think the walls should be. I prefer like a really dark metal color, but we'll see what we end up doing. I have my glutes and hamstrings day. I have my back and chest day. I have my quads and calves day with a little bit of core work. I have my biceps, triceps, shoulders day. And then on Fridays are my days where I do like compound lifts, full body, where I just take the most difficult compound lifts of each of my previous 4 days and I do them again on Fridays. In terms of diet, I have adhered to 1,750 calories for the month. I don't know if that's a good number. That's actually far lower than I had expected to start my cut with, especially having ended my reverse diet, eating at about 2,500 calories per day. As I said in my last video, I do think that was a very minor surplus just based off of small weight gains I made at the end of my reverse. I do think that my actual true maintenance is somewhere around 2,200 to 2,300 calories per day, which is why I've chosen 1,750. You know, like I'm trying to stick at around the 400 to 500 calorie deficit range. I'm probably going to end up eating 1,650 by the end of this deficit, just like I was at the end of my last deficit. So you live and you learn, right? Like it just seems like that's my cutting number. Anyway, I stick to my protein macro, which is 140 grams per day, and then I let my fat and carbs fall where they lie. And again, everything has held true. I find that if I tend to eat more of my leftover calories from carbs versus fats, I'm just hungrier throughout the day. I don't know why. I choose very high quality, high fiber, like slow carbs so that I don't get that huge insulin rush. I eat my carbs with protein, again, to make sure I don't get like this huge blood sugar spike and drop. But for whatever reason, my body just tends to function better with a diet that has very balanced calories coming from fats and carbs, or sometimes a little bit more fats than carbs. Okay, that is the diet and exercise segment. So let's just jump in now to the weigh-in and measurements. So let's go to Sunday. Hey everybody, okay, so it is actually Monday, May 31st today. It's a little bit later than I had been hoping to do all this, but it is technically and officially month end. So we're going to do measurements. I'm going to put my weigh-in over here. I weighed in just before I came out here and it came out to 65.6 kilos, which means in this month I've lost 1.4 kilo, which is good. It's on track with where I would like to be. I was hoping to lose 1.5 kilos this month. And then I'm hoping to lose 1 kilo per month for the next 3 months, at least average it out. I'd like to lose 3 kilos over the next few months. So let's now go into measurements. Some of these I'm gonna have to do off camera, but some of them I can just do right here. Okay, so let's get into measurements. Okay, hips I have 92 centimeters, which is 36.25 inches. Waist, I have 76 centimeters, which is just shy of 30 inches. We'll just call it 30 inches. Glutes, I have 97.6 centimeters, which is just about 38.5 inches. Underbust, I have 77.1 centimeters, which is 30.4 inches. Bust is 88 centimeters, which is 34.6 inches. Thigh is like 56.6 centimeters, which is like 22.25 inches. Okay, so I'm out here on my farm and I thought I would just film the wrap up of this month. I am very, very happy with my results for this month, especially because I was a little concerned about not having total control over my macros or tracking my energy output and energy input and everything. It was a wild month. We've been super busy out here, but I hit my goal, which was to lose 1 to 1.5 kilo. So I'm down just over 3 pounds for the month, which I think is a really safe and sustainable weight loss. I see a difference in my photos, in my measurements. I'm down across the board. Now, I don't know if you guys watched my last video, but when I took my starting weight and stats, it was like Aunt Flo had just started. So I was afraid that my weight and my measurements would be inflated a little bit, just given like fluid retention and stuff like that. And I did see a pretty big decrease in centimeters around my midsection, like my waist and my hips, which would be expected because I probably was a little bloated. But I'm also down everywhere else. So, and I'm down like a decent amount of weight, more than I would have put on if I was like just bloated from my cycle. So I'm really happy. But that is my month 1 like roundup. Anyway, thanks for following along. I'll be back next month with hopefully some good results or some kind of results. So have a good one. Bye guys.